Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? So, we got our very unnaturally gifted high school students doing what they do best, and that is protecting the lives of monsters. Um, This was pretty out there this week with what's his face? This new like guy from the Knights showing up and actually wound up taking one of our members from the camp and really taking the wrong one from the wrong person. Seeing how he's actually been shown to have some combat prowess, the politician guy, I don't think they picked the right person to be taking from. So this is probably going to end up being relatively crazy, depending on how much they try to do to this girl that they took away. She's like the biggest sweetheart of the village. Not only that, she's the only girl slash person that isn't human or the animals that live here. So she's neither of these races that are in this village right now, so she's like one of a kind there. Not only that, she's like the sweetest one out of all of them. So to really go out of your way to pick on that person and to take that person, yeah, it's not gonna be too pretty. I don't see this ending very well for any of these people making these types of moves. So interesting enough. They don't care for some reason. Like, they don't honestly care what they've done. So, we're going to definitely get the fall of this empire. Our main character, who's the politician guy, has already stated, like, if we really want to, and if we really have to, if we start to do what we do best, this whole entire, like, world will fall to our power. Like, it will just fall to our talent. I mean, they have probably the best sword fighter around right now, with the samurai girl and how she just took out the chief of the forest, which was like a rock. I'm so sorry, a bear embedded with rocks, and still had the sharp claws and the sharp teeth and all that. But instead of you being able to just shoot at it and pierce its skin, the rocks and like huge stones inside of it, or that are like built in, won't even allow you to cause it really any harm. So yeah, it's kind of broken. So our samurai girl does what she does best and literally deheads it. Deheads the bear that is never been seen before on Earth. And not only does she do this, she then has the nerve to be like, piece of cake. like she really didn't even have to stress out anything on this. So yeah, we're getting some pretty straightforward, like tall tale like fights in the case of them reaching levels and heights that we probably should have guessed they had, just by their characters, like not discussions, but just by the way they're presented in the very first episode, telling us how good they are at what and how much they put forward in it and whatnot. So I don't know if they have planned out, like an arc for all of them to kind of go through, which it feels like they didn't plan that out because there's only 12 episodes, unfortunately, for this show. And the one thing that sucks the most about anime, in my opinion, is when it ends abruptly because it thought it had to. My girl just straight up let me die. Thanks. Um, they let the shows die and they let certain aspects of the show kind of just speed up or be forgotten because of the time strain they're on and stuff. So 12 episodes just has a really bad stigma for me, and because it's showing us that that's kind of where it's going already in the case of being 12 episodes, and maybe it starts rushing sooner or later through some of the content. uh, I'm just scared. I'm just one of those people that don't like to be treated unequal. Don't pay attention to what I just said. But yeah, it's annoying to know that a show I really enjoy could wind up being over in a flash just because of time, or just because they decided that this was the best course for the show and they just kind of got to let it go. That would suck. But overall, we are definitely done with the businessman's like overall arc and stuff when it comes down to him making enough money to do whatever the heck he wants, and now needing to make more money because of unseen unfortunate accidents and stuff like that. So one of the accidents being uh, the girl who he took in having the people who wanted money for her that they deserve, that they say that they deserve, right? So they show up and he throws like a literal huge bag of gold money at him and give him it. And then the next thing that happens is we go to the village and these knights show up after all of the fighters are gone and taking on this bear to pretty much take one person, which didn't make too much sense to me. Now when I was thinking about it, is like the the person who saves them all must have only been able to save them all after they started burning down the house and they had already left. So the one thing that they took before burning down the house was the elf girl that I was talking about was taken. So that is a big no-no. Like you don't take the most sweetest person from one of the most characteristically strong character. Like this guy is about to do some very underhanded tactics, it feels like, or not even underhanded, just straightforward, like I don't care what the outcome is type of tactics, and just body the heck out of anybody who really thought this was okay. I mean, they are living in a whole nother world where slaves are like natural things. Like people probably wouldn't really care if they heard some slave like asking for help or something. They'd be like, oh well, you shouldn't have got yourself in that position, I guess. That's kind of how these nobles and higher ups kind of carry themselves. So we'll see how that plays out with the more and more that our characters are just around, and with them being around is going to change a lot of the outcomes of the overall world itself, as we learn that there is magic in the world, but it's only being able to be utilized by very, very talented mage users. Or not talented, but relatively there's not a lot. So what I'm trying to say is the mage users that you do find are all very rare. Like they're not something you're just gonna walk outside and be like, "Hey, whoa, that guy's using magic." Like these people are pretty much held up somewhere too. It sounds like they stay in their own side of place, like of the country, and because they stay over there, they keep their magic kind of to themselves, and those people who are magically capable over there as well. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing like what actually fully transpires after all this, because I feel like we're going to learn quite a bit. It's just the fact of who are going to be the ones that's going to get in the way of our main politician guy trying to get this girl back, and how much of a difference is him getting her back going to change the empire. Like this empire that has taken her is the same people who don't want any religions to exist or for you to believe your religion is above the empire. So yeah, we're in a very, very dark area, and I truly hope they have some good like answers for what is to come, because as of right now, it feels like they were just trying to live with the current, live with the current like status quo. That's what I want to say. Like they were just gonna go with the flow, and anything that really goes in this world, they'll abide by it. But if they bring it to them and try to force it upon them, they weren't gonna be for it, right? So I don't know. I truly do recommend you checking out this show if it's something that kind of piques your interest in any way. I just feel like not a lot of shows that I've watched as of lately have given me the feeling that there's multiple like outs or like multiple ways that the show could go, and that's what I always look forward, or not look, I look for in anime, not look forward to, but I look for it in the case of like I want something new. I want something that catches my eye and surprises me, and not just something that I could call coming a million years away just because it's been done over and over and over. So the show is kind of doing that for me already. I can't really predict what's going to happen. I'm surprised that once the fire kicked up, I was like, really, bro? Like, really? And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, wait. The magician's in there, and then the main character kind of like chimes in. He's like, well, they got a character in there who can escape a bot, like a coffin in a matter of seconds, so I don't think they'll be that bad off. And lo and behold, they were good. So it's these types of things in the shows that do feel kind of predictable. Like there's always a way for these characters to save themselves, but that's why the premise of the show was already stated, that they're that good at everything they do. And we're going to be just seeing where all this empire business leads, and how long will it be taken to get handled fully. So that should be the next interesting part, is if they're just going to speed rush this and be like a 2 episode problem, or if it might last for 4 episodes or even just 3. Whatever the case may be, though, I will be here reporting on this show. I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be when you're watching this. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I will definitely talk to you in the next one. So with that being said, peace.